Okay, so today we're going to dive into something that's got the gaming world buzzing.
Buzzing is right.
Yeah, it seems like there's some serious smoke signals out there
Oh, yeah.
pointing toward the possibility of a new Titanfall game,
You got it.
specifically Titanfall 3.
Titanfall 3.
Oh, man!
People have been waiting a long time for this.
Close to a decade, right?
Basically, since Titanfall 2 dropped and blew everyone away.
Yeah, Titanfall 2 is something else.
Absolutely. And, you sent over this article from Gaming Bible, and it really seems like things might be heating up.
I think so. I mean, the article came out just yesterday, right? April 4th, 2025. And it's already making waves.
Right. So before we jump into all the speculation and rumors and stuff,
Okay.
I think it's worth taking a minute to kind of set the stage for people who may not be as familiar with Titanfall.
Right.
Maybe they missed out on Titanfall 2 or just haven't had the chance to experience it.
Right.
Why was Titanfall 2 such a huge success?
Yeah, the article mentions that it was a huge success. Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of us have been wondering why there hasn't been another one.
Exactly.
So what was it about that game that really resonated with players?
It's interesting because Titanfall 2 managed to do something that's really hard to pull off.
Okay.
It seamlessly blended two totally different styles of gameplay.
Okay.
Like on one hand, you had this incredibly fast-paced, fluid movement as a pilot.
Right, all that wall running and grappling.
Exactly. It felt so acrobatic, almost like parkour.
Yeah, you were like a ninja.
And then bam, you hit a button and suddenly you're in your Titan.
Oh, yeah.
This massive, powerful mech that completely changes the feel of the game.
Yeah, it's like the whole scale of combat just shifts.
Exactly. And the brilliance of Titanfall 2 was that it wasn't just about having these two modes.
Right.
The level design, the mechanics, everything encouraged you to constantly switch between them.
Keep you on your toes.
Exactly. And that created this incredible dynamic flow to every match.
I remember that feeling of chaining together a bunch of wall runs, dodging bullets, and then, boom, your Titan drops from the sky and you're ready to unleash havoc.
So satisfying.
And it wasn't just about the power. There was this real connection you formed with your Titan.
Yeah, like a partner.
Yeah, almost like a companion in battle.
For sure.
But then, of course, Respawn Entertainment,
Yeah.
the studio behind Titanfall.
Right, the masterminds.
They decided to shift their focus to the Battle Royale scene.
Which was booming at the time.
Oh, yeah, Battle Royales were everywhere.
Everywhere.
And they came out with Apex Legends.
Which, let's be real, became a massive hit.
A phenomenon.
Yeah, you can't argue with its success.
No, and looking back, it makes sense from a business standpoint.
Oh, absolutely. Battle Royales were the hot ticket.
Right, but I think a lot of Titanfall fans were left wondering,
Yeah.
does this mean the end of Titans?
Right. Is this franchise done?
Exactly.
And what's interesting is that even with the success of Apex,
Yeah.
the passion for Titanfall never really went away.
It's still there.
It's simmering beneath the surface.
And maybe these rumors are a sign that even Respawn themselves.
Right. Maybe they miss it too.
Maybe there's still a spark there.
It's possible.
So let's talk about these Titanfall 3 rumors, because that's what everyone's excited about.
All right, let's get into it.
The Gaming Bible article really leans on this report from Reds Gaming on Twitter.
Yeah, saw that.
Apparently, they're saying that 2 leakers have indicated that Titanfall 3 is in development.
Wow. Planned for a 2026 release, supposedly.
Yeah, 2026. That feels so far away.
It does, but also not that far, you know?
I guess not in the grand scheme of things.
Time flies.
But the article does say,
Pinch of salt.
pinch of salt, right?
Always a good idea.
When it comes to rumors and leaks and all that.
Especially in the gaming world, right? Things change so quickly.
All the time.
Development plans get scrapped. Things get delayed. It's just the nature of the beast.
Right, but what makes this a little more interesting is the specifics that the article calls out.
Okay, like what?
So this leaker Yoratsuki, they're adamant that this isn't some April Fool's joke.
Ah, right, because the article came out on April 4th.
Exactly, so timing is a little suspect.
Yeah, people are going to be skeptical.
But this leaker, they're saying, they mentioned back in December 2024 in a Discord group
Interesting.
that Respawn was working on a new game.
Okay.
And now they're saying that game is Titanfall 3.
So it's like they had this prior knowledge that's now being connected to these rumors.
Right, and that does lend a bit more credibility, I think.
Yeah, it's not just coming out of nowhere.
Right, it's like there's a little bit of a track record there.
Right, a little bit of a breadcrumb trail.
So the article even goes so far as to suggest a possible timeline.
Oh, really?
They're saying we might see an official announcement at the Game Awards.
Oh, wow. The Game Awards in December.
December 2025.
That's a big stage.
Yeah.
Prime time for a major reveal.
But then the article also brings up a good point.
Okay.
They say, if the hype around these leaks gets too big.
Right, if it starts to snowball.
Electronic Arts might decide to announce it sooner.
Interesting. Why would they do that?
Well, to control the narrative, I think.
Makes sense.
You know, publishers, they have these carefully planned marketing campaigns.
Big reveals, trailers, all that.
Exactly. And if there's already a ton of buzz and speculation.
They might want to get ahead of it.
Exactly.
So they can make the announcement on their own terms.
Right, and maybe capitalize on all the anticipation that's building.
Yeah, strike while the iron's hot.
And the Gaming Bible article does a really good job of capturing the mood of the Titanfall community right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's this mix of excitement and caution.
I could imagine.
It's like on one hand, people are cheering.
They're ready to believe.
But then there's this other side that's like,
don't get your hopes up.
yeah, like, don't give us hope.
It's heartbreaking.
It is, because I think a lot of fans have been burned before.
Right, with long-awaited sequels that don't quite live up to the hype.
Or games that get announced and then canceled.
Yeah, it's a roller coaster of emotions.
And speaking of the key players, we can't forget about Respawn Entertainment and Electronic Arts.
All right, the developers and the publishers.
The article suggests keeping an eye on EA for any hints or teasers.
Makes sense. They hold the cards.
They do, and there's even a link to another article with a very intriguing headline.
What's it say?
Respawn CEO would love to make Titanfall 3.
Interesting.
So even if we don't dive into that article,
Yeah.
that title alone tells you something.
It definitely suggests there's some internal interest.
It does, right?
Like maybe it's not just a pipe dream.
Right, maybe there's a real desire there to revisit this franchise.
And that passion from the developers is crucial.
Oh, absolutely.
When the people who created the game are excited about it,
It makes a huge difference.
it shows in the final product.
So let's step back for a second and think about what this all means for you, our listener.
Okay.
You know someone who enjoys a good action game.
Someone who appreciates innovation.
Exactly.
Okay.
This Gaming Bible article, it's painting a picture of a possible return.
To a truly unique style of shooter.
Titanfall 2, it was groundbreaking.
Yeah, the way it combined pilot combat and Titan warfare.
It was like nothing else out there.
And the fact that it's still so fondly remembered.
Nearly a decade later.
It says something about its impact.
Absolutely, and I think that's why these Titanfall 3 rumors,
Yeah.
they're generating so much excitement,
It's tapping into that nostalgia?
but also that desire for something truly fresh and different.
For sure.
So the key takeaway here is that Titanfall 3, it's a possibility.
A real possibility.
It's worth paying attention to.
And staying tuned to gaming news.
Especially around big events like the Game Awards.
Right, where those big announcements tend to drop.
Exactly.
So keep your eyes peeled.
But of course, this deep dive, it wouldn't be complete without leaving you with some unanswered questions.
Ah, the mysteries.
Right, if Titanfall 3 does happen, can it recapture that magic of Titanfall 2?
Big shoes to fill.
Right, and will it innovate? Will it bring something new to the table?
What will it look like?
Right, and if the announcement does happen at the Game Awards,
What will they show us?
a teaser, a gameplay trailer.
The suspense is killing me.
I know, right? And how will Respawn's experience with Apex Legends
Right?
influence the design of Titanfall 3?
Good question. Because they've learned a lot
They have.
about live service games, about ongoing content.
So that could definitely shape how Titanfall 3 evolves.
It's fascinating to think about.
And you know, all of this leads to a really interesting thought for you, our listener.
Okay, I'm listening.
Think back to what made Titanfall 2 so special for you.
Yep.
Was it the movement, the combat, the Titans themselves?
What hooked you?
What aspects of that game would you be most excited to see expanded upon or reimagined in a potential sequel?
It's a good exercise.
It is. It's a way to kind of frame your expectations.
Right, and get those creative juices flowing.
And as we wait for more news,
Right.
I think it's fun to speculate, to dream a little.
To imagine the possibilities.
Exactly, because who knows what the future holds for Titanfall?
Only time will tell.
But the possibility is there.
And that's exciting enough for now.
It's enough to keep us on the edge of our seats.
For sure.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of Titanfall.
It's been a pleasure.
And until next time, keep your eyes on the skies.
And your Titans fueled up.
You never know when you might need them.
You got it.
Take care.
See ya.